How are you all tonight? I'm going to do a quick adjustment. Happy Friday. I'm going to drop my light down just a hair there. So maybe it's that. How is everybody? Hope you had a great week. I had a great time last weekend in Pittsburgh for the spring fling. I had a blast. It was sweet, short and sweet. Just turning down my volume here. Hi, Easies. How are you? We're going to get all of our housekeeping out of the way today, right away. Happy May release and happy birthday to little Theodore. He is a birthday tonight, and I am celebrating by making a birthday card using a Theodore stamp tonight. Hi, Brandon. Any links that are down below are affiliate links, which just means if you place an order using one of those links, I get a small little commission off there, which helps me bring you content. So I appreciate that. Hi, Miss Penny. I did put the Stick and Stay bundle in the chat if you're interested in that. That is available. You can pre-order that. And I'm going to head over to the table. So first thing I want to talk about is the freebie this week, this spring paper pack, which I'm not sure I'm going to use tonight 100%, but we'll see. It depends on how my card turns out, but you get this at, I believe, a $25 order, and it is automatically added to your cart. And then, of course, there is if you get a $60 order, there is the incentive stamp of the month, which I have. I can show you that as well. I'm not going to show you everything else because you can wait for the release on Tuesday. Christopher will go over that, but I do have the incentive stamp here, which is this awesome leveled up stamp set. I'm not going to use that tonight. However, I am the pleasure of getting to use the one of the Stick and Stay mats. I have the 6x6. I haven't even used it yet. So I'm super excited. We get to use it tonight. Have them. They're available for pre-order. I did add the bundle, which is the big one, and the 6x6 to the chat. And I did in my collection add both the bundle and the mat. So I'm going to use that. It's going to stick on my glass mat. I'm just checking to see here what's going on. Hi, Miss Lan. And then we're going to use the new Theo in Space stamp set. I'm super excited. I already have him cut out. And I'm also adding the Out of This World 4x4 add-on stamp, which I am in love with because I think the aliens are so cute and it goes together. So I've got all of this ready to go. And the last new product that we are going to use tonight, for sure, is the stencil that I have been dying for. It's called Full Moon. It's a layering stencil. Not only do you get the moon, you get the little craters or the shadows of the moon, but you also get the mask. So we are going to use these tonight to create our little scene. So the first thing we're going to do is I have a piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to stick this right onto my Stick and Stay mat. Look at how great that is. Now, I am going to use a little pixie spray, and that's only because even though this will stay on the sides, I don't want it to shift up here at all, okay? So we're going to mask off. I'm just going to use a little pixie spray on it, on this part. I'm excited for the big Stick and Stay mat because when I like to ink blend with it's a little bigger, so I have a little more space. Not that I don't love this. I'm excited to ink blend with this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to mask off. And I've made a card similar to this in the past, but I couldn't find it. I didn't have time to look for it. So, all right, let's see if that's going to stick. Yep, that's going to stick because I want it to stick here. And then this is masking off what I'm going to call my planet. Okay, so we're going to make a galaxy card. I did pull in. Dana inspired me to pull out my Distress Oxides. So I'm just going to grab a couple of them here. I'm just going to grab a bunch. I got picked raspberry. I'm just looking at my dome foams. We're going to use spiced marmalade. We're going to make a galaxy. I haven't done that in so long. Seedless preserve. squeezed lemon, I think. No, I want to use mustard seed. I'm going to kind of go with the brighter colors. And then for blue, I'm going to use the blueprint sketch. Okay. Hi, Kate. Yeah, he's such an adorable little space mouse. I'm like, I already got him. I already got him already colored. Look at how cute he is. Hi, Jamie. He's just so cute. So there isn't really a rhyme or reason, and I haven't made these in a very long time, but this is kind of, it looks going to look like a hot mess. So I'm just going to go ahead. I've got a couple of, and we're just going to ink blend colors. And I know I'm probably going to shake my table because I'm an aggressive blender. Looks like there might have been another green on this foam pad, but I'm okay with that. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to grab some colors. Let's open these up. I do prefer the dome blending when I'm using my oxides. This was kind of a little dirty. I must have got it sitting on one because I feel like I get a better coverage. So I'm just going to open these all up here. Stick my covers in the lids, or stick my things in the lids, and then we'll go to town. Hi, Shalana. Thank you, Fun Colors. I haven't played with oxides in forever. And so one of the keys, and I've only made a few galaxy backgrounds in my life, to be honest with you, is you need to just play and let it happen. It's okay. Do some streakies. I promise it will all be fine. You can do less colors than I have, but I just decided to do a rainbow because I wanted to. That's not as purpley as I would like to have had. I should have grabbed it for purple. That's fine. That's enough purple. I love purple, but that's enough. And we need some yellow. And we're just making this hot mess. Don't be afraid to play and make a hot mess. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit more blue in there because we're going to cover the whole thing up. Okay, I'm going to cover these up. This was a fast one. Fast colors. No, I know there can never be enough purple. I may have to grab that lilac sketch out because purple is my favorite, but I didn't want that. Where was the lilac was it? I have this case for them, but they don't fit all of them. I need to order a new second case. Now, let's add some lilacs, shaded lilac. I got to wipe off because it's a little too bright. Give me 1 second here. So if you don't, I don't have like an ink stand or anything for my oxides right now. I just used I just have two of my glassboard mat things here, or magnets here. I could also put another one right in here and it kind of holds them in place. It's not perfect, but it's enough. I mean, if I did it right, I suppose I should put it right up against my mat. And then if I have if I got one more magnet, it would hold it really hard in place. Or if you have a misty light. There we go. That looks better, right? Got to have some extra purple in there because it's one of my favorite color. It is my favorite color. All right, we'll add a little more yellow, and I think we need a little more orange. All right, so it's looking like a hot mess, right? I did not see them at the beginning of it. I'll have to look. I was swamped at work today, so I'll have to check that out. I will after we get offline here, off tonight. Okay, so there's that. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to kind of wipe this off a little bit just because I've got my black soot. I'm going to put this in here like this and try to hold that in place because we're going to do a bunch. Now, this is where it's going to look really like a hot mess. Really, really, really like a hot mess. But you kind of have to just trust the process. And you just kind of go over the whole thing. Now, I'm sure there's other people who have other ways to go through that do this, but this is how I do it. Now, I'm not getting it super saturated. I probably could. I'm going to go a little bit darker, and I'm sorry that I'm shaking my table so hard. You just want some of those colors to kind of show. And I mean, you can see that it's still a hot mess back there. They kind of cover, and you see some, you can streaky. That's just the kind of the way I like to do it. I'm going to leave it just like that because we're going to add some splatter. And the first thing I'm going to do is add some water. And I'm going to spritz it in my hand and then kind of sprinkle it on because there's a lot going to be going on in this card. Okay, and then I'm going to grab some Ornament Gold Shimmer Mist or Chrome, and I'm going to kind of sprinkle that too. Yeah, you see Dana move to the side and barely see Heather and Jess standing by the wall. Okay, I'll have to just kind of peek out the reel. And then in the link, I did show I had the Sterling and the Gilded Shimmer Splash. You could use the Pearl Shimmer Splash too. I might grab that. I don't think I linked that. But this is just, you could do the white Aqua Splash. You could do just Aqua Pigment paper. Or Aqua Pigments. I just wanted to use what I had. I also wanted to tell you the next Air Store class is ready to sign up. I know Penny posted a link to local Air stores, and my friend Stacy at Scrap Mania and Cedar Rapids also has some kits, and she will ship anywhere if you're not going to be anywhere near hers. I'm going to be going in person again for the event or the class, so I will be down there. And I think I'm not sure. Do I have my white somewhere? I'm going to grab Pearl. Because then we got to set this aside to let it dry a little bit. And I'm just going to let it. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cloth and I'm going to just dab it. Just going to mute some of those. And then for the reveal, look at how white that moon is. It can be the moon. It can be a planet. What we're going to do is we're going to take this stencil here, which is part of that moon stencil. And I'm just going to use what's kind of the yellow. And I probably could have used some pixie spray just because, there's little bits here. I'm just going to I don't want to do a ton. Antique linen would probably be perfect too. We're just going to add a little bit of color. So it's just so it's not too white. And I think for some fun, I'm going to make it a kind of a purpley planet. I'm going to add some of that shaded lilac. Kind of be a Viking planet. It's got a little purple. It's got a little yellow. So I have to tell everyone that's watching tonight, last weekend, I texted my boss and all of my bosses and all my agents and told them I was going to Pittsburgh because I was drafted by the NFL. I was going to go play for the Vikings. Are you ready for the reveal? Actually, we probably should add a little shimmer too to this. So I'm going to do is take my plastic and I'm going to add some shimmer. My desk is a mess now. You guys know me. I usually don't spray right on my desk, because I'm forever getting it all over me. All right. Oops, I forgot to say 1, 2, 3 reveal. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up quick just because then you can see. And I'm going to pull this off. Look at it, fell right off. It's partly because it's wet. I'm going to pull that up and look at how fun that is. So this is the basic of our card. I love it. Got lots of shimmer and shine. So let's set this aside to dry for a little bit. I wanted to tell you that I took the little alien stamp like this, and I put it in my Misty, and then I lined up the happy birthday stamp and I stamped it right inside. Oh, thank you, ECs. Thank you, thank you. So let me find that stamp here so you can see that here quick. So these little sentiments here, which all fit in this banner. They've got, you've abducted my heart, happy birthday, you are out of this world, and they fit inside here. So my thoughts are, we're going to do this is, and of course, like I said, it's a little damp. So let's just kind of put the magnet down. We've got our little TT flying by here, and we're having a little birthday party. Oh, it's only 8:15, so we're going to probably make more than one card. We've got our little birthday panel here like this. I mean, that's so awesome that it's just like this. I mean, you could also, there's also this little one that's kind of taking off on the side, but I thought I did extras. So I feel like he's like, happy birthday, and he's flying by. So I thought that's just kind of cute. So that's kind of the idea. So let's get trimming down a little bit here. Get our card kind of made. So I'm going to trim it down a little bit because I'm going to do a white border on the outside. So we're going to trim, I'm going to trim like 1/8 of an inch off each side. Thank you. 1/8 of an inch off each side. And then we'll do about 1/8 of an inch off the top and off the bottom. Now you could heat emboss on here. I probably could do the little bit of that. Let's just see if it's dry enough. Now that I've added the shimmer, because my daughter's calling me. Hold on, I gotta hang up on her. Hopefully nothing's wrong. Sorry about that, you guys. I've been on Do Not Disturb. If she calls me back, I may have to cut the live. Oh, hold on, my camera went away. Technical difficulties. Sorry about that. I'm not exactly sure what happened here. Do I gotta start using camera? All right, there we go. Sorry about that, you guys. Hopefully everything is okay. If she calls me back, I'm gonna have to cancel my live just because there might be an emergency. But I think she's been traveling, and she doesn't realize I'm live. So sorry about that, you guys. Please hold. Okay, phew. I love this release too, Jamie. All right, let's go back. I will say this is one of my favorite releases I've had. So I think if it's dry enough, there is lots of stars and there's galaxies and there's a shooting star, and I feel like that's what we have to do. I think we feel like we have to put some of these pieces in here. So let's kind of see what we're going to do here. All right. Let me grab my Misty. Let me get my mini Misty out here. I feel bad. I hope everything's okay. I think she's just traveling. But I have a sticky mat in this is a small sticky mat that I just have for my thing, and I didn't have the lid off of it. It's very sticky, as you can see. So hopefully, I'm not going to take the sticky mat off right now. We're just going to use this, and I will put my magnet down on here to hold it in place. It will work for me tonight. So we've got our little comet going here, and I'm going to kind of get him stuck on here. Let's see if I can get him. That looks good. He's tiny. My fingers are too fat for that. All right. And then I've got a little galaxy. We'll put that up in here. And I think we'll use some sterling embossing powder because that just makes me think like it needs to be there. Okay, so anti-static powder tool. A lot of it. Because I want more shimmer, so I'm going to use that sterling. Gold would be fine too, but I want to use more sterling. All right, and my embossing ink. I didn't get that out because I wasn't going to emboss. This whole release has been fun. the stamps, except for Stamp Club Plus. That has to come yet. I wasn't able to get that at the same time as I got the others. So I got that, and then I have and I have some of the consumables coming. I ordered those today, some of the paper products. Now this might be, my background might be a little wet, so there could be some residual shimmer. I'm okay with that because it's just going to add more stars. Hope it's okay. You guys don't mind. I changed my mind of what I was going to do here. And I think we need to have one more because you got to have 3, right? So it's funny. Before I was live tonight, the honey and I were talking, and we were talking about something, and I was kind of scrolling through Facebook while he was talking. We were catching up on our day, and I happened to notice that it said in the that tonight in Iowa we're supposed to go, in hundreds of birds. I think it's at hundreds, maybe it's at thousands. I don't know. Are migrating tonight in Iowa. They're like, everyone's supposed to go, for like, they said always for like meteor showers and falling stars, but I guess supposedly tonight there's going to be hundreds of birds that are going to be migrating, which I thought was interesting, but I'm not going to get up to watch it. I'm still recuperating from my trip last weekend. So, by the time I got home, it was midnight. And I'm usually long fast asleep. And it took me a little while to get back to the swing of things and get to sleep and relax. But I am playing catch up yet. All right. Just heating that up again. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. All right, let's cut that cool down a little bit. Just want to cool it down. And then wipe off the anti-static powder tool. And then I think I am going to put this on, I think I'm just going to put this on a piece of white cardstock. I think I like that, just like that. So let's do that quick. And then maybe even though we're making a Theodore birthday card, we might just play with that spring paper and see what we can come up with quick too. So yeah, if you haven't checked out the link, go ahead and do that. Oh, the paper pad of the month, the celestial moons. Oh, it's so pretty. And watercolor, the watercolor wonder, I think is it called? Watercolor night. Oh, I had to order a second one of those today because that is, I think, going to be one of my favorite paper pads. Okay, so now here's the fun part. So we've got our little aliens, we've got our little TT, and then I colored some of the planets that we can add in. There's I don't know if we're going to use the orange one. Let's see, what other color? I've got one. There's a big one. I think we're going to leave that one, though. Let's use the orange one. Oh, no, I didn't want orange. I wanted pink. Sorry. Pink. I don't know if I want that. I think we're going to leave those off. I think that's too much. What do you guys think? And then I'm going to pop this up. I think they all need to be popped up. So if you also wanted to tell you that not only some of the Spring Fling release, the adorable gnomes and the butterfly stamp set have been released. They're on the website. We also had some papers. There was a few 6x6 papers that were released during Spring Fling that are now available to the public. And the Create stamp with Theodore. If you have not seen that yet, if you are a lover of all things Theodore, you need to make sure you get that because that is available. And we'll just stick this piece off to the side. We'll stick this off with one of these. And then I need a longer piece that's going to work for this. I can't believe, you guys, it's May. It's May. And I'm not going to sing to you, but it's going to be May. I mean, May the 4th be with you is coming up. I'm a big Star Wars fan. So I always think that always makes me laugh. And Cinco de Mayo. And it's just, and then before I know it, graduation's going to be here. I don't know anyone graduating, I don't think, this year. At least in my local school, but it just seems weird that it's May. Oh yeah, Jamie, you're having buffering issues. Anybody else having buffering issues? Or is it just Easie's? Jamie, I was so excited for that stamp set. We have some errands to do tomorrow. I suppose, should I tell everyone my news, Penny Easie's? It's not a secret anymore because it's Facebook official. So for my 50th birthday, Tom surprised me and he took me to go and make it official, and we got rings. So we are officially engaged to be married. So we have to go pick them up tomorrow. But then I cannot wait to craft. I want to play, and I want to play with that butterfly. Okay, no buffering there. I want to play with that butterfly stamp set. I have a couple of ideas of what I want to do with it. And all that stuff. I'm just super excited about it. Okay. So now there are a couple other stamp sets that you could add for this release. Thank you. That you could add some other fun to it, but I'm going to kind of leave it just like this. I'm not going to add any bling or anything. I just kind of like it. So here is our first card. We have 30 minutes left, so we'll keep playing. There was another stamp set I was thinking about doing this kind of the same thing with. So anyway, happy birthday, Theodore. All right, let's move on to our next stamp set, our next idea. All right, I'm going to grab my little stick and stay mat again out. I'm not sure if I cleaned it. I really didn't clean it. I'm just going to wipe it. Good. I do have some. Ooh, I got to pick that up before the dog comes and eats it. Just spray it with some squeaky clean here. This one's going to be kind of a flying by the seat of my pants kind of card, okay? Hope that's okay with you guys. But we'll use some of this other release here. But I'm going to pull in a different stencil. I'm going to pull in this stencil. Thank you. I'm super excited. It's a long time coming. We've been waiting, and it's called A Star is Born. But we made it official, and Tom made it Facebook official while I was in Pittsburgh for everybody. So I kept telling everybody, and Heather's like, did you tell them your news? And I kept yelling, I'm getting married. It was really fun. So it's, we're just going to have a small private ceremony. So I think this is a beautiful stencil. I am going to pull some colors from this spring paper pad. Okay. So let's cut this open. And I'm going to use this, I think, piece of paper for my inspiration. The other things that are in here is some beautiful glitter stalks. And I may pull a piece of that in. I'm thinking maybe this butter yellow or this pink. Maybe the green. Maybe the green. I think we'll do the green. I love that pattern. So we'll do that. So my thoughts are, I'm going to have a big piece of the pattern paper, and we're going to have just a little piece of this, and then we're going to ink blend this. Hi, Mama. You're good. You had plans. It's okay. We're just celebrating little TT's birthday. I'm going to go ahead and stick this all the way down. I'm going to see, is there a top and a bottom? Not necessarily. Oh, the heart there. Okay. So what's great about the stick and stay mat is it's the same size as my stencil. So look at that. See, it's not moving. Oh, you got a new chair. I can't wait to hear about it. I will call you tomorrow. Well, I know you have plans, but I will call you. And I'm going to stick with the oxides here. So, but I don't think I want to use the Twisted Citron. I think that's a little bright. Let's switch over to Bundled Sage. How does that sound? This looks like a little bit more color that I prefer. I wanted to see. Yeah, that's bigger. But you could totally use this. I'm going to pull this off here for a second. I checked this earlier, but I wanted to show this to you. If you put this here, hi, Lynn, and you put this over the center, I mean, look. I mean, you can, here, I'll show you on this one. You could totally mask off the center and then look at this. If you did it and you lined it up just right, you could have some of those dots and you could, you know, look at how fun that is. So there's an idea for you. All right. So anyway, let's pull this up. I've got fletch hairs on there. I'm going to use the same color, but I'm going to use a little bit. I'm going to add some purple, I think, this time. We're going to add maybe we'll do pink and green. Pink and green. We'll do the picked raspberry. And we're just going to blend this beautiful stencil. I'm going to blend the whole thing, but I'm going to cut it down. That looks good for me there. And we're going to grab the Bundled Sage, which we're just going to wipe this one off a little bit, just because Twisted Citron was on there. I'm just going to go right through the center. So I have all these new little, I haven't done a lot of ink blending on my desk like this in a while. So between my marker storage and my new little creative caddy over here, there's a lot of shaking and noise. I hope that that's not bothering you guys. All right. Okay, so now you may want to use some pixie spray because I moved this little curly cue here, but that's okay because it wasn't curly, it wasn't sprayed down, but I'm okay with that. All right, so there's that. We are going to go ahead and I'm going to try not to make too big of a mess. Maybe I'll grab a couple of towels. I got a couple of towels like this. I'm going to spritz it with my favorite. Just to make it really pretty. And I'm going to go ahead and dab off the extra just because that sop it up so it's not too wet. And they're oxide, so they're gonna bleed. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Now, I'm gonna peel it right off my stick and stay mat. Hold it up. Look at this. Look at how pretty that is. Now you have a circle and you just cut that out. It would just be so pretty. I'm just going to move this off to the side. I am going to tap this down one more time just to pull up any extra wetness. And I am going to hit it with my heat tool just a little bit. Now, if you didn't want the oxide like this to do it, you just wanted this, you could cover it with the fairy dust embossing powder or the icicle for just clear, but fairy dust would make it very shiny, or some fallen snow glitter glaze and set it off to dry. Okay, so this was our panel. I'm going to be cutting this down. So I think I have another panel here. This is another A2 panel. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of cut it down, cut the paper down. I want to use the polka dots more than I want this little section over here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. I'm going to cut it right down at 4 inches. And then I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4, which cut off that whole little corner there. So we have this piece and I'm going to center it right in the center here. And then I haven't decided exactly how I want to do this yet. I'm thinking I'm just going to trim over 1/4 inch to start. So I'm lining up at my 6 and I'm going to move it over 1 square and cut that down. Let's just see what that looks like. We may want a different size because I'm thinking what I'm going to do is we may end up cutting this piece off because I don't need all of that. And then I'm going to cut this piece down. Let's cut that first. Okay, here we go. We're going to get 2 out of this card. Okay, so this is a 4 1/4. So 2 would be at 4. So 2 1/8. I'm going to cut it right at 2 1/8 ish. And I say that by ish just because it looks like 2 1/8 there, but I didn't measure it really up. And got this just like this. Now, I could cut this out with a circle die, and I might just still do that. And then we could actually do something different. But I'm kind of thinking I might leave it as is and just trim it a little bit. I'm going to trim it down to 5 1/4. So I'm going to take 1/4 inch-ish, or not, 1/8 inch off each side. And that will bring it down to 5 1/4. And like I said, I always just kind of eyeball that part of it. And so we've got this beautiful little thing like this. But then again, I also not sure I want to do that yet. So let's see. I know I feel like now I shouldn't have probably cut that, but it's so pretty, but it's okay. I think we need a lot more glitter. Just trying to play. I'm going to cut it down. We're going to cut it down. We're going to get a circle die, guys. I don't know what size circle die we're going to use because I don't know what size I have that will cut it. I'm just going to grab these Hero Arts cutting die. That's what I want to do. And let's see. Oh, this big Hero Arts one cuts it down just a little bit. So let's take, this is the Hero Arts Infinity dies. So we're just going to cut it a little bit down. Okay. So let's grab our magnet here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it so that it's going to cut that as a circle. Okay. So I'm going to put it down. I like to put it on my magnet first and tape it in place. And then I like to flip it over because I do not cut into my magnet. I know a lot of people do. I don't. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put it here. I just, I know we went, like I said, I didn't want to color on camera here tonight. So, all right, I didn't run it all the way through because it didn't, these are a little too big. So I'm going to have to trim it with my scissors. That's fine. We can do that. There we go. Okay. So I've got our little, and so I think what we're going to do is we're going to trim a big piece of the glitter. Let's trim this down. I'm going to trim this down to 3 inches. That looks good to me. Just because. And then I'm going to trim down a glitter panel, and we'll put the glitter panel over it. So let's trim this down to 2 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm going to do the 5 1/4 first. Just because I can use that other piece there. And then I'm going to do 3 inches. and that is way too big. So we need, what did I say? 3 inches. Let's go down to 2. And I'm okay with that because I know like saving glitter stock, but I have big chunks here. So then I can put this like this. And then instead, what we're going to do is we're going to put this on right here. Just like that. And then we just need a sentiment and a, thank you. We just need a sentiment and we need a focal point. And this is one of those cards that you could go through your stash and use. You do not have to make anything special with it. You could add, and I mean that by, you could make this and have it ready to go in your stash. So you could go get some flower dyes and ink blend them, or you could pretty much stamp any image on and die cut it out or fussy cut it out. And you would have a quick card because the base is there and you already have your color palettes. Now, I am noticing, oops, didn't quite, I'm trying to eyeball that. I'm noticing I didn't quite center this the right way. There's a little bit too much down here, so I'm just going to trim that tiny bit off the bottom. Just so it looks a little better. And then I have somewhere here, I have been in and out and I've moved some things around. So now some of my spinning stuff doesn't spin. I have a little sanding block here. I'm going to go off to the side here just so I don't get it on my project. And I'm just going to rub that edge where I cut just to kind of make it a little smooth because there's a little bump there. And I'm doing it off camera just because I don't want all the little dust to see there. Now it's a little bit better. So we can put this on here. Now you could go all the way to the edge, which is what I think I'm going to do because then it looks better. I'm going to pop it up as well. I just have a little extra pixie tape on there. Let's pop this up. And cut some strips here. Cut some little strips. Hi, Cordelia. How are you? We are celebrating little Theodore's birthday. It is his first birthday today. So I'm making a birthday card. I used the Theo in Space from the new release to make him a birthday card, which we will show again in a minute. And then I am now using the free paper pad for this week, if you place a $25 order, to make a card along with another stencil that I'm just in love with. When I get to sit down and have some uninterrupted craft time, you guys are going to see a bunch of, if that happens, which I'm going to try to make it happen sooner rather than later. No, this is where I got to do. No, I got to do this. You're going to see a bunch of samples from me projects from me. And then by lining it up right on the edge, it looks like I cut it off and then it matched up perfectly right here. Isn't that so like I planned it? So look at how pretty that is. Now, this is one of those cards that you can do it this way. Well, I'm going to switch it to this way, but you could have it this way. And you, like I said, you could have some flowers, or this. I think we're going to go ahead. Oh, my heart is upside down, of course, here, but it's kind of cut off. I'm going to go ahead. I just happen to color this perfectly like this, and I'm going to use it. This is from the Out of the World stamp set. I'm going to use that. And I think we're going to put I colored a couple of these. I've got a couple of these little planets here. Maybe I will pull in another planet or two and color them quick. Let's color these up quick using don't get sick. using our color scheme. So I'm going to use, it looks like this might be a bright yellow. Let's grab my a scratch piece of paper here. That looks close. So we'll color our planet. We're going to color our planet yellow and pink. This one yellow and pink. Anyway. I can put that away in a minute. And we need a pink. I'm going to try this one. That one's a little bit not. Let's try this. 5.3. That looks closer to that color. EC's created the most adorable Theodore card as well. I've already seen the sneaky peeks, which EC's, I forgot, Earthquake. Oh yeah, Earthquake. I forgot I got to post it. I got to get ready for posting. And then I'm going to do the darker green, I think, that's a little too dark. Let's try this one. That's not the right green either. We're going to go back to that green that I said might have been a little too dark. We're going to, please don't bleed on me. This one was a little juicy earlier today when I was coloring. All right, so we've got our little planet here like that, and then we need one more little planet. And I'm thinking we're going to make it really pale green. And then we're going to make it sparkly as well. So I'm going to just grab the next color up just to darken in the little craters. And then to make it nice and shimmery and shiny, I'm going to grab the pearl and I'm just going to paint it quick. The pearl shimmer splash, just a little bit, just to give it a little shimmer and shine. Same thing with my little window here. We'll add a little bit of shimmer and shine to the window, and I'm going to add a few little hits to the cloud or the trail of dust or whatever you would call that. Okay. Yeah, Earthquake. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit that. At least I saved it. And then I had the sentiment and I put it away from the Theodore stamp set. That's where the little, the Theodore in space, that's where the little planets came from. Of course, there's all the stars too. I have the You're Out of This World. And we will use that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on here so we cover up a little bit of that heart since I accidentally. Oh, you are fine, Susan. Happy Friday. Happy May Day. It's May Day and new release day and little TT's birthday. So we've just been creating some cards. So I'm going to let this one go and we're going to cover up just a little bit of that heart. So it doesn't, you can't quite tell that was a heart. And then I think we'll pop up these little pieces, these little planets with just a little piece of tape here. I can't give away all my secrets yet because I want to play with this. I have some other ideas. Ecy's did something with her card, her little TT card with the overlays that gave me an idea too, but I didn't want to steal her idea. So I didn't do it on my card. I'm going to put my little sentiment right down here. Actually, yeah. You are out of this world. And then we're going to go ahead and put this one down. I loved the overlay that she used. It's just a hint that I saw. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. This is the flying by the seat of my pants card because I colored ahead of time because I don't like to color live because then I rush it and I don't feel like it's up to par. you know, like I don't blend well, or my markers bleed, and then I get frustrated. So I think we're going to put this one up here. And I think I'm going to take a little tip from Jennifer McGuire. I've seen her do this. I'm going to take this little piece right here in my pokey tool. I get the right side. And I'm going to stick this right there to keep the top of my rocket. She'll stick glue underneath, and I'm going to use it to stick a piece of foam tape right there on the tip of that. And actually, I feel like I need to do that here too, because it was already falling over. So I'm just going to, I got the tape off and I've got stuck in here, and I'm just going to go under here and stick it right like this. And then that will stay. And this one I think needs some gems. It's out of this world. Thank you. We need some gems for this. And I hope to grab the crystals. Oh, light pink will work because we got pink in our card. So let's grab a little crystals, and we're going to add them. I'm actually going to add one right there because that's the only, there's in this paper, there was a couple of those things, but I only have the one. So I'm going to kind of try to hide it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to do the other one right there. 5. Okay. Shake my lid so that all of them kind of tip the right way. I don't know if anyone has any plans this weekend. I hope you have a blast and a great time. National Scrapbook Day. I'm sure there's plenty of live crafting tomorrow for that. I hope to get some crafting done too. I don't know if I'm going to do any. I think I'm going to add a couple more gems. I think I need a couple up here. I feel like we need a couple like right there. And maybe here and here. I just need to spread it out a little more. I feel like I needed to spread that out just a little more. One, 2, 3, and 4. There, that makes me feel a little better. Okay. Oh, yay. Yes. Yes. I do love these colors. I like this pattern paper. I want to find a couple of sketches to maybe use with it. So that is what I've got for you guys tonight. Here is my, oh, yes, many, many users. No pun intended. Here is my first card using the Theodore stamp in space stamp set, the Out of the World stamp set, and the full moon die, or I mean stencil. And then we use the paper pad. That is the freebie for this week when you place a $25 order. That is these two. The A Star is Born stencil. Is that what that one was called? Yeah. And then some more of the Out of the World. And then the sentiment came from the Theodore in Space stamp set. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all so much. Have a great rest of your weekend and check out the new release. And of course, you know, you can now go ahead and order your stick and stay mats. This is the 6x6. And then there is is it 8x12? But it'll fit on here, and it will have a spot here that you can put some Simon Hurley ink. Your Simon Hurley ink pads will fit. And then there's some wells up here, and then you've got your stem over there. So those are available. I did add those to I did not put them down below, but I did put them in the cart. I can add that. But I appreciate you guys so much. Have a great rest of your night and weekend. And we'll see you next week for some more space fun. I guess I should have gone to my upper camera. Good night, everybody. Bye.